This man is absolutely a genius. He used a discarded water heater to make a multifunctional wood stove. First, he cleaned the inner tank and stood it upright, marking a line at 15 centimeters. Then marked one side of the taller section of the tank. Using a ruler, he drew a square pattern, and then cut it along the markings into two parts. He also cut out the square marked section. Next, on the other end of the tank, he drew a grid pattern, cutting along these marks to create an ash drop opening. Then he welded a square pipe to form an ash collector. Once that was complete, he created 4 metal plates and welded them together, attaching them to the square opening. This formed the firewood feeding port for the stove. Next, he welded on the stove door. Once the door was secured, he added a latch. Then he cut 4 short square pipes and 4 slightly smaller rectangular pipes, welding them to the bottom of the stove as legs. Afterward, he found an iron pot, placed it on top of the stove, marking around it, because he planned to cut out the bottom of the pot. He welded it tightly to the stove, making sure it was sealed and airtight. Inside the pot, he welded a mesh basket with rebar. It fit perfectly on top, for easier transport. He added handles on both sides of the stove. Lastly, he sprayed the whole wood stove with high-temperature rust-proof paint. And with that, the multifunctional wood stove made from a water heater was complete. Then he gathered some firewood to test it out. When the firewood inside was lit, he could place a pot on top to boil water or cook. So, what do you think of his creativity? Out of a score of 10, how much would you rate him?